Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are, it is right now. You're right here. My name is Manuel, and it's my pleasure to welcome you. This is episode 57 of the show, and I have to congratulate you for making the best decision of the day to spend some time with me. Let's get started. Currently, there is a viral fake news story going around, and I have seen it pop up so many times that I had to respond. And in fact, those involved in it have also responded. In case you haven't heard, there is a story that supposedly anonymous sources say that recently the Pentagon threatened the Pope. The Pentagon told the Pope that as an American, he had to fall in line with the Iran war or suffer the consequences. Really? Really? I can't believe that anyone believes that, but that's the environment we live in. Unfortunately, not only do many people believe it, but even when shown the opposite, the evidence against it, they still believe it. You see, it's not just fake news. It's purpose-built fake news. This is not an accident. This is not a misunderstanding. This is a narrative with a very specific goal. The goal is simple. Paint Trump as the caricature of the reckless bully that you absolutely want everyone to believe he is. Paint the administration as out of control. And this part is important, fracture support among Catholics, especially American Catholics, by pushing the idea that Trump threatened the Pope. Because if you can get people to believe that, now it's not just politics anymore, it's moral outrage. So let's walk through what actually happened, because this is where the whole thing falls apart. There was a meeting that took place. It involved Cardinal Christophe Pierre, who is the papal nuncio. That's the Vatican's ambassador to the United States. And that meeting did take place at the Pentagon. Absolutely. That's real. But here's what they don't tell you when they run with a viral version of the story. It was a diplomatic meeting, not a showdown. Most importantly, it happened before the Iran war even started. So let me ask you a very simple question. How exactly do you threaten the Pope over his position on a war that hasn't even happened yet? That alone should have set off alarm bells for anybody paying attention. Now, let's go a step further. Where does this supposed threat come from? Anonymous sources. That's it. Anonymous sources claiming that somehow, through the nuncio, the Pentagon sent a message that the Pope needed to get in line with the United States. And yet, this is the part that should matter. Everyone who was actually involved in that meeting has said it didn't happen that way at all. The Pentagon has pushed back on it. The Vatican has pushed back on it. People connected to the meeting have said it was cordial, respectful, even if it was a serious conversation. So let's recap. Anonymous sources say one thing. Every identifiable, accountable party says the opposite. And somehow the viral version is the one that we're supposed to believe? But look, here's what really bothers me about this. I have no problem whatsoever with people disagreeing with this president or any president. I have no problem with criticism. That's part of our system. But what I do have a problem with is people knowingly or recklessly spreading something that isn't true, especially when it has real-world consequences, because this isn't harmless. This kind of story is designed to damage the relationship between the United States and the Vatican. It's designed to put American Catholics in a position where they're being told, how dare you support a president who threatened the Pope? It's designed to inflame outrage based on something that did not happen. And here's the bigger lesson. And this is something that Scott Adams used to talk about all the time. It has to do with when a story is too perfect. When it fits exactly into the caricature you've already created in your head about your opponent. That's when you need to get suspicious, because this story, it's too on the nose. That's the phrase that Scott used to use all the time. Too on the nose. The quote, Trump threatens the Pope. That's not just believable to his critics, it's perfectly tailored to what they already think about him. And that should have been the first clue that something wasn't right. And sure enough, once you scratch the surface, it all fell apart. So The takeaway is simple. Not everything that goes viral is true. Oh boy, tell me about it, right? That's something we know, if we're honest. Not everything that confirms your bias is real. And sometimes the stories that feel the most satisfying to you are the ones you really need to trust the least. All right, that's enough for now. We'll continue next time. And as always, be useful.